What's up and welcome to Me, You, and Switch 2. I am me, Tom Tate, and you are you, so let's talk about Switch 2. This is the latest and greatest Nintendo Switch 2 news brought to you every Tuesday and Friday in snackable 5 to 10 minute episodes. Today happens to be Tuesday. It is June 30th. It is about 8:06 a.m. on the East Coast. This is episode 113. So before we get into today's very light on the news episode, I hope that you had a great weekend. I had an incredible night on Saturday. So my son and I went to go see the Super Guitar Bros and Bit Brigade at a little venue in Millersville, Pennsylvania, which is like a little college town just outside of Lancaster. So Super Guitar Bros were amazing. They are an acoustic duo, very talented technical guitar players. One of them actually plays a classical guitar. They play some new stuff. They play GoldenEye 007, like a quick medley. They did a Mario and Zelda medley. They did some Final Fantasy boss music. One non-video game track that they did was the theme to the show Goosebumps. They actually opened up with that one. And then another hit was a medley of Wii system songs from the Nintendo Wii. They did like the menu and the eShop. Super fun. And then Bit Brigade is like heavy, loud electric guitars. They're like a full-on metal band. They did the entire Mega Man X soundtrack live with a fifth member of the band that played the game projected on a big screen. And that's kind of their thing. They've done DuckTales and Ninja Gaiden and Mega Man 3 and a bunch of different games. The crowd was wonderful. Just a quick heads up, go see live music. It is the absolute best, especially if it's video game music. That environment, that crowd is always pretty awesome to be around. Okay, so as I mentioned, very light on the news. Splatoon Raiders is getting another kind of full game Nintendo Direct that is happening today at 10 a.m. Eastern. So maybe after you listen to this, it would have already happened. It'll be 15 minutes with a 30-minute Treehouse presentation afterwards. We are less than a month away from that game being released. As a reminder, Nintendo is stressing that this is a single-player focused experience, but there are multiplayer components, so I don't know why they keep saying that. Circana, who is an industry analyst, they revealed that Nintendo sold 5.9 million Switch 2s in the US during its first year of release. This is a quote from the Nintendo Life article. According to the same data via Circana Senior Director and Game Industry Advisor Matt Piscatella, this makes it the second fastest selling video game hardware in US tracker history. Tracking began in 1995. Only the Game Boy Advance, shifting 6.5 million units, exceeds it. So very impressive year for Nintendo. I'm sure they're excited to see the momentum for Switch 2. I know with the price increase and the RAM apocalypse, it might be challenging for video games and tech in general over the coming year. So I'm glad that they've released it when they did and they were able to kind of push through. A few news from Nintendo themselves. I read that they're planning to build a new R&D center, which will cost around $750 million to build. It will be an R&D building for both software and hardware development. Completion is planned for 2029. I also read a separate article that Nintendo was planning to give everyone a 10% pay raise this year. And I don't think the details were clear on what, countries might get this pay raise, if it was all of them, if it was all positions or certain positions were exempt from this, but very awesome if true. 10% is certainly not the standard. So very nice to see that from Nintendo. Memento releases today. It's a new game in the eShop for $19.99. Here's the description. Memento is a cozy room decorator with a twist. The objects you choose will alter the course of the story. Decorate your room, choose which items are important to you, and discover how these choices play out over the course of a lifetime. So as a reminder, Friday's episode is the first episode of July, so we'll take a deep dive into all of the games announced for release. There are about 17 of them as of now, so you'll definitely want to tune in for that one. Always one of my favorite episodes of the month. That's kind of it for today. There's really not that much to talk about. If you're enjoying the show and you have a few seconds to spare, just remember that this show thrives on your support. Zero ads, zero promotion, zero self-promotion. So if you're enjoying the show, a quick star rating before you close out Apple Podcasts or your listening app of choice, or before you move on to the next episode in your queue. That really helps with discoverability and growing the show. It helps, other listeners just like you kind of find the show, which is really important. You can hit me up on Blue Sky or Instagram at Switch2Pod. That's Switch with the number 2Pod. I always like to hear kind of what games you're playing. I'm still on Adventures of Elliot's, really enjoying it. So if you want to reach out and let me know what you've been playing, what's in your queue, what's in your backlog, always happy to hear from listeners. As a reminder, there are 2 bonus episodes over on patreon.com/switch2pod and more to come. I want to thank all of the early adopters who hopped on those. There are no paid tiers on Patreon. It's all free, forever free DLC. You can just hop over there and check it out. Show notes and subscribe links at switch2pod.com. Hope that you have a great weekend. I will be back on Friday. Much love. Now go play some games.